right. So everybody, JM Manion here for the IFBB Professional League interview series. And I'm here with my very first guest, two-time Bikini Olympia champion herself, Angelica Teixeira. How are you?
Hi, how are you, my dear? I'm great.
Good.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be the first guest. Oh my God.
Well, that's why I had this
so
shirt,
happy to
everybody.
see you. Oh, look at this.
You gotta have the right shirt whenever you
Show
do the
again.
interview.
Show again. I was like, oh my God, you have my shirt.
There it is.
Believe in your dreams.
See,
That's
honest,
my quote right
be
there.
honest, you didn't think I still had this shirt, did you?
I didn't. I was like, you know what? I gave it to him. He never wear. I'm like, and
Oh,
then
you
today the
didn't see
surprise.
me wear it, that's all.
Oh, I didn't see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to see you with my shirt now. So happy, yeah,
Yes.
honestly. You're always full of surprise. Usually you would say something about Marco being more important than me, but today you make me feel special. Love that surprise.
Oh, all right. So how are things in Texas?
Oh, he was better. Like since the beginning of the quarantine, like, you know, like we didn't have big numbers of case. But and then, you know, I think we were the first state to open up everything, to start reopening. And now the numbers are going up and up. So they starting to slowly close things again. So they already
Oh,
closed all the bars. And now it's mandatory to have the mask everywhere you go. So if you leave your house, unless you're working out or if you're less than 10 years old, and there's a few more places that you don't need to wear, but you
so
know,
the
like
gym,
most
the
of the
gym, are the
places,
gyms still, the gyms are still open there, you're saying?
yeah, the gyms are open.
That's
Yeah,
good.
thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I've read places where they're closing the gyms again in different areas. So
Here, not yet. The governor said that if the numbers keep increasing, he'll be obligated to start closing everything again. So that's why he's saying that, you know, everyone has to wear the mask. So
right,
the numbers start to, you know, slow down. So I hope so. We need the
right.
gyms open.
Yeah. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that.
Yeah. How is it in Pittsburgh? Are the gyms open or not yet?
Yes,
Oh,
everything's
it's
open. They
open.
just
Okay.
last week they did the same thing where you have to wear a mask wherever you go, whether you're outside or inside.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Whether you like it or you don't, you just got to follow the rules. I mean, I get it. And
Yeah.
people block the system, but you know, just do it. That's the way I look at it at this point. You know.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Like they asked to do it, you know, there's a reason for it. So I just follow too. It's better this way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what I want to talk about is something that I really haven't seen you speak about in all these months. You becoming a citizen of the United States.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Yes. This
So
was
tell
like,
everybody the process of how this happened. But and also let
so
I mean
it's,
how long you've been here in this country, because I don't think a lot of people realize how long you've actually lived here.
yeah, I moved to US in 2009. So it's been 11 years. And it was like a slow process. When you do everything right, it takes time. So when I first moved here in 2009 was because Marco, we were already married, but I was in Brazil finishing my college, physical education college. And he moved to US first. His job transferred him to work in America. So we stayed 2 years apart. He was living here, I was living in Brazil to finish college. So once I finished, I came to US in 2009 with L1, L2 visa. He had the L1 visa, is a work visa, and I had the L2. And we stayed here for years with that visa.
Okay,
And
so
then
so L1, you said it's a work visa. What's an L2?
it's a work visa, like a company has to apply for you to come work for them.
Okay.
So he was already teaching cops in Brazil, like the handcuff techniques, everything based on martial arts. So his company in Brazil had like was working together with the SWAT here in Texas. That's why we always love Texas, because that's the place we came first. He always
Right.
came to do class here before he moved here. So he opened, you know, his company opened another company here, franchise. So they brought him to work here. So that's how we came to US. And after, there was 3 years visa, and then he applied for the O1 visa. It's a special abilities. So he had to prove that he had something special for US to, you know, to
Right.
be allowed here. So we stayed years on that visa, and after, I think it was after 5 years or 3 years, something like that, we were able to apply for a green card. And then we applied for the green card, we were approved, but we had to wait 5 years to apply for citizenship. So that's why it took a while, all the process, I could not even do the nationals at that time. Now everything's changing, right? So many
Right.
more
It's changing now, but
opportunities
yeah,
for
that's
the,
why. Yeah,
yeah,
whenever you applied, you wrote a letter to the IFBB Pro League,
yeah,
explaining all the NPC contests you had won, and you really couldn't further. So, and
yeah.
people realize that you actually came to Texas first. I think everyone thinks you just went right to New Jersey.
Yeah, everyone thinks that. I was actually in Texas for a very short time. It was 9 months here, but I'm kind of like glad I came here first, because in Texas, like I think I know like 2 or 3 Brazilians here.
Yeah.
And in New Jersey, such a big Brazilian community. So it was getting out of my comfort zone. It was really hard because I just had Marco at that time speaking Portuguese, but also was good because I was forced to learn English.
Right.
Because when you kind of like, when you get in your comfort zone, like in New Jersey, that you can go out, go to a Brazilian supermarket, go to a Brazilian salon, you know, and just
Yeah,
like,
it's where you buy these, right?
yeah,
Where is it?
the
Where is it?
Guaraná. Yes, the
There it is.
Guaraná.
Yes.
Your favorite. Every
Yeah,
time I
that's where you
drink
get these
that,
from.
but that's the bad thing about Texas. I can't find that anymore. So
No.
now you have more Guaraná than me. It's not fair. Is that the
And just so
sugar
everybody knows,
one I brought to you?
yeah,
Is that,
that is from the stock.
oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Always gonna have one on hand, keep one handy.
Oh yeah, always. And now I see all the Brazilians tagging you in that drink.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Easy.
We all always know what to give you as a gift.
Yes,
Guaraná and paçoca.
absolutely. My mother loves
Yeah. Guaraná for you, paçoca for President Manion.
that's it.
And Cassie.
Yes.
And Debbie. I know them. Ay, ay.
So now, how does it feel to be actually a United States citizen?
It feels it's such an accomplishment because living here, I've been to so many struggles for not being an American citizen, and also traveling the world representing the IFBB Pro League, my sponsors. There was some place that was a big struggle, like they invite me to do a seminar or something, like let's say in Australia, and I had to apply for the visa to go compete in Australia. For the first time, I almost couldn't go because it was such a hard process to get the visa. And even to go to Canada, before I needed a visa, New Zealand, so many places that I went. And honestly, not being an American citizen, even though I had a green card, every time I left the country and to come back, it was, like that feeling that, oh my God, this is not my country yet. Even though I love it as my own, it's, like, I always felt like, okay, you're still a part. You're not, like really a part of it. So after I got my citizenship, like a movie came to my mind, and, like, as they were reading the oath for me, and, like I start crying, of course. And since, like everything that me and Mark went through since the beginning, applying for visas, it was a hard process, like to get a O1 approved. They approved it here, but they asked us to go to Brazil and go to American consulate in Brazil. So we went, and when we got there, the consul that interviewed us, he gave us such a hard time. He made us cry. And we already had all our life here for years, doing everything right, paying tax, everything right. Always legal, like we had one visa and then we applied for another visa. And then he said, you know, he started saying things as we were here, like doing things illegal. And we were like, what are you talking about? We're doing everything right. And he said, oh, I don't know if I can approve it right now, just to give us a hard time. And we proving that we were doing everything right, the tax, everything that we were doing were right.
Right.
And then when, you know, when you finally get it, you know, the movie came to your mind, like all the struggles, everything was worth it. So
Right.
now I feel so proud, so, you know, like so thankful to be part of this great nation.
Now, do you have dual citizenship, or are you just a completely American citizen?
No, now I'm Brazilian and American.
So you
So
have citizenship.
I'll never give up on my Brazilian citizenship.
Right.
You know, I'm that kind of person that I never forget where I came from. And if everyone that knows me, I bring the Brazilian style first, the samba, you know, like the way that we are, like, because Brazilians are very warm and we like to hug, to kiss.
Right.
Sometimes some Americans even like, oh, what is that? It's too much. But we are like this. We are, you know, like we like to hug, we like to kiss. We are very, we have a big heart. So everyone that knows me knows that I bring the Brazilian style with me, you know, wherever
Right.
I go. So now I have both.
All right. So I want to jump back to the last time I actually saw you was in Columbus at the Arnold Sports Festival. And I don't think a lot of people realize that it was not an easy road for you to get to be on the stage there. That you had family things happen, and there were some struggles along the way where you could have actually just thrown the towel in, and I don't think people would have said anything. But you persevered and went through it. Explain to people, you know, what your mindset was like for that.
Yeah. After the Olympia, I was already very focused because I know I didn't bring my best, and I wasn't proud. Of course, losing my title was super tough for me, and you know that we had a conversation. I always get your advice, and the first month was like, oh my God, what, you know, what's gonna happen? And then after the next month, I was like, okay, so this is what I need to do. I need to get better. I need to be better. So, you know, like I was very focused on bringing a better package that I could be proud of. So I started, like, me and Marco also gave me all the support. It's like, no, baby, I know you can. I know you can do the Arnold and you can bring your best, and we're gonna do this. He gave me all the support. And halfway through the prep, I was just killing it, you know. And of course, with the support of my husband in the house, everything was easier. But and then we found out that his dad had cancer, and it was a super aggressive cancer, and he had to fly to Brazil, you know, like we bought the ticket for 2 days so he could get everything ready, and he went to Brazil. He stayed there for almost 2 months. I just saw him after the Arnold, and he was hoping that, you know, things would get better there. He could come back for the Arnold. But, you know, like he had to stay there. It was a mess in Brazil with the flooding in his city that took almost all the city. And, you know, like a lot of people lost their house, everything that they had. So he was there working, you know, and helping the city. So he had to stay there. And I was here thinking about my family, thinking about my father-in-law. That's like a father for me, because me and Marco, we're gonna celebrate on July 13, 18 years together.
That's great.
So it's been a lifetime. It's like his family is like my family. And so having, you know, like my family there needing me and Marco, but even though he went there, he was like, no, you stay. I know, you know, how important it is for you to come on stage and be proud of you again. So stay. So he gave me all the support, even though he was there. And my father-in-law, he gave me so much support. No, Angelica, we're gonna win. He was like, you know, like, we're gonna win. I'm gonna get better. You're gonna win the Arnold. And, you know, just keep it there. We're strong. I'm here getting stronger. And we kept pushing each other, but it was such a tough time. So that's why even before they canceled Australia, it was hard for me, but I had to step back and tell Tony and the IFBB Pro League, even after signing the contract, because we were like, oh, let's see how it's going to be. And things didn't get better with my family. So I had to tell you like, hey, JM, I can't do the Arnold Australia. I have to go straight to Brazil. So later they ended up canceling because of COVID-19. But after the Arnold, I think it took me 2 days just to get my things ready. And I went straight to Brazil to stay with them. But as you say, it was probably the toughest prep ever for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I said, a lot of people that would have had that, they would have thrown the towel in. And I mean, I know in Pittsburgh at the NPC photo gym, when we were doing your road to the Arnold and everything, I mean, I know these are focused and everything, but that was a tough road. I mean,
it was.
Just you for getting on the stage and going through with it.
Yeah, it's like I always say, sometimes it's easier to give up, and everybody would understand, like, oh, you know, it's okay. She gave up because this is really a tough situation. But I think, you know, like
you giving up, that they would, I mean, everybody I'm sure would understand what you're going.
Yeah, you know, they would understand. They would think like, oh no, she's not giving up. She's not, you know, like it's because, you know, it's a really good reason because they really needed me. But for me, you know, pushing through struggles and challenges sometimes make me even stronger. So I was like, okay, if I can't be there with my family now, I know that Marco is okay with his family. He's taking care of them. So I'll really do my really best here, you know, more like every workout, every cardio. I was like, I'll do this for them. I'll do this for them. And, you know, like even more for my father-in-law, because I want to, you know, like to show them that you can go through struggles. And as I saw my father-in-law, like a warrior, you know, in Brazil, fighting through everything that he's been through, and he's still, you know, fighting till now. It gave me strength here to do even better, to, you know, to do extra cardio, to be more strict with my diet, to really make no excuse. I never did for any prep because I always do my best, but for this one, I knew that I had to do something different, and I had to do more strict and work even harder to bring a better package. So, you know, seeing the strength that my father-in-law had gave me strength. So, you know, sometimes you never know. Sometimes you need to be out of your comfort zone and have challenge to, you know, push you to be better.
Yes. Well, good. So things are pretty much going pretty even right now then, pretty steady.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with my father-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah, now he's doing chemotherapy. He has done radiotherapy. Is that how you say he? Radiotherapy.
Radiology?
Yeah. It's two kinds. So he has done one first in his head, and now he's doing another one is chemotherapy. So, you know, he's doing great actually. He's, you know, the doctor, he didn't give us like good hope, but as the doctor said, he's doing way better. And now every time he sees the doctor say, okay, I don't know how, but every time I see him, he's looking better. So whatever you guys doing, keep doing it. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we're very happy.
Good. Now, with everything slowed down and no contest for a while and the Olympia being pushed back, how do you feel about that? How does that affect you? Do you think it's better you have a little more time, or, you know, or are you anxious to get and I know this is a question that I've seen asked, is people want to know if you're actually going to do another contest maybe before the Olympia, just to step on stage one more time since the Olympia is so far away.
Yeah, actually, you know that I hurt my knee right after the Arnold. Once, you know, I came from Brazil and I was in quarantine and I was doing a dance with my knees, and I hurt my knee. But you know, like it was good because if the Olympia was September, I would be like, I know I could be ready, but it would be a little stressful for me to think that I had this injury and then I had to push and do a prep right after. But now I feel like, let's say 98% recovered,
Right.
you know, I'm training, I'm doing cardio. I can't run. I said, you know, that there's some type of cardios that, you know, I can, but I'm rather not risk it. But
Right.
I'm like 98% better. I want to be 100% so I can start my prep and, you know, so
Right.
if it was in September, it would be a little too much pressure for me, thinking like, what if I push and what if I get hurt again? So for me, it was perfect having the Olympia end of the year. Now I feel almost 100% recovered. My training is almost, you know, the same. There's a few exercises that I avoid because I know it can hurt my knee, but I can train everything. I can, you know, I can do cardio. And once I start my prep, I know I'll be like, okay, I'm recovered. I did physical therapy, you know, and I'm even like getting strong on some points that, like, let's say if I felt something in my shoulder, I'm doing, you know, exercise for that too. So I know I'll be like injury free. And so for me, it was good. And,
Yeah.
So once I start now, what, 5 months and a half, almost, right?
Okay. Yeah.
A little more
Yeah.
from the Olympia. So I usually started my prep like 12 weeks, but now because, you know, like I always want to bring a better physique. So I have been doing less prep for the Arnold. I did 16 weeks and I
Right.
want to do the same for the Olympia. So once we're like 4 months out, I know I'll be like, you know, like so focused and ready to work like 100% to bring my very best. So
Good.
I can't say that I'm mad about it. And also it feels nice to have the Olympia end of the year after everything, you know, all the shows went on.
Right.
I just feel, you know, it's good. The
Yeah.
date was, you know, was good. And now all the changes, the new venue, Planet Hollywood, I think it's gonna be, it was good change
Yes.
for the Olympia.
Yeah.
I'm
Everything on the
excited.
strip.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. All right. So you're working out. Everything's your knees getting better. You know, you've got your citizenship. Uh, Most people think that, you know, everything is just going great for you. Um, I wanted to go back and touch upon, you watched the IG live that I did with Tarek Ogindi with Muscle Car.
Yes. Yes,
And I
I
know
did.
that you said you were surprised that I said, you know, how I thought that you were like the Jay Cutler of the bikini division. And I don't think people understand what I actually meant whenever I say that. So when I always say about Jay Cutler, it's not just what Jay did on the stage, it's what Jay does off the stage.
Yes.
He's given back to the sport. And I said, I mean, to me, there's been nobody else in the bikini division that has done what you have done as far as giving your time freely, doing things, helping competitors, helping people be, being like a politician, you know, shaking hands, kissing babies,
Yeah.
taking pictures backstage. I mean, I've seen you
Yeah.
helping girls with their suits. I've even seen you helping
Yeah.
Olympia competitors with their suits before you walk on the Olympia
On
stage.
the Olympic stage, yeah.
Yeah, nobody does that.
It's just who I am, you know, like,
I know.
uh,
This is when I say
yeah,
the Jay Cutler. Like, if people know Jay Cutler, they understand about Jay, and that's why I
yeah.
always say that about you. And I just wanted to make sure people were, like, don't think I was comparing you to Jay Cutler, like physique wise or anything. You
Oh
know?
yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
Close. You're close. There you go.
Close, close.
Yeah.
Off-season games.
There you go. Off season. Yeah. You know. But
No, but that was the best compliment for me because Jake Cutler is someone that I really look up to. He's a champion, not only on stage, as you say, but everything that he does, he's, you know, like he retired from the stage, but he keeps representing the sport, the IFBB Pro League, everywhere that he
right.
goes. Because when I started competing, he was already retired. And how did I become such a fan of Jake Cutler? How? Because his name will always be there because he's there for the fans. He's there for the sport. He keeps traveling. He keeps, you know, he's a smart man for business, but also he put his heart to it. It's not like he don't see just the money, you know, when he does his things. It's because
Right.
he really love it. And once I met him and I could like have a closer relationship with him as a friend, I understood that, you know, like there's some things, of course we gotta make money, but there is some things that you do because you love it. And he always passed me this message. And with my fans, like everywhere I go, I thank them for being there for me. And as I start traveling and going to so many expos all around the world, I could see that some athletes took it for granted, like, oh no, I'm tired. I don't want to tell them to come back later. I'll go around the expo and hang out. And I'm like, hey, people love you. They here for you. Like that, you know, there's nothing better that always I start competing because I wanted people to look up to me, to get inspired by me. And now I
Right.
go to expos for them to meet me and I run away. I'm like, no, I love that. And this, I think this is the thing that I'm missing most with all the quarantine, not traveling, no expos, no shows, because I like to go somewhere that I feel loved. And always when I went in New Jersey for all the Steve shows, like all the NPC shows, sometimes the smaller shows in New Jersey, Mass Alley shows, I'll get there, you know, like without telling that I was going to be there. Like I'll never text the promoter, like, hey, I'm coming, can you give me a free pass? No, I'll always get there, try to buy my ticket. And, you know, sometimes I did, sometimes they're like, hey, hold on, you're Miss Olympia, what are you doing? I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just like everybody else. So, you know, I just want to be here for the
Well,
show. And they're like, why you didn't tell me, you know, putting you on stage or something? I just like to be there because I feel loved and I can really show my love. This is, you know, like I love the sport. I love, of course, even more the bikini division. It's my passion. And being able to represent like for so many years, you know, and being the
yeah.
face of the bikini division, I just felt like, okay, now I can go out there and be there for them. It was an outlet for me to be in contact and, you know, to really help them, because that is something that when I first got here in this country, what got me my first job in a supermarket as a beggar. And people think, okay, you know, a job in the supermarket as a beggar, it must be, you know, easy, but it was tough to get that job. It was an interview with probably 10 more Americans, all sitting in chairs, because it was
Right.
in 2009 when the economy went down and everybody was looking for any kind of job because, you know, it was really hard. It was a tough time. And I keep speaking English. And when I raised my hand and I tried to introduce myself with broken English, like, hi, my name is Angelica. I'm from Brazil. Sorry, no good English, no good English. I need job and I love people. So the manager told me later, and I went through so many more things in the interview that, you know, we could go
Yeah.
with one interview, me and you just telling you everything that I've been through in the interview. It was like I almost cried. But the manager called me later and she was like, okay, you got the job. Can you come? I'm like, oh my God, I got the job. And yeah, so when I went there, she told me, you know why we want you here in the supermarket? We need people like you. I'm like, but why? Because of what you said. You love people and we need people like this here. People who loves people. So, you know, like since day one here in this country, I felt the way that you know, I was like this since I was born. I love to be in contact, to be with people. I was always like a popular girl because I like to be friends with everybody. And
Right.
when I got here, it helped me because this love that I have for people since day one helped me. And after I became someone of a little more success, I could really show my love. So, you know, once, you know, when
Yeah.
I get to an NPC show and all the girls come to me,
Well,
this is like, I feel
I
like,
always,
oh my God, this is who I am.
I think back to two contests. I remember the one contest that Steve Weinberger was having, and you couldn't make it, so you sent Marco in your place.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was taking pictures of Marco and
I
Victor
forgot
Martinez.
about that.
I
Yeah.
would normally take pictures of you with people, right?
Yeah, that was so funny.
Somewhere else, but I'm sending Marco.
Yeah, I think I was traveling. I was,
Yeah.
in some other event. And then I
And
was
you're
like,
actually going, you make sure you tell me if he doesn't show up.
yeah, that was funny. JM, look for Marco. He's there to see you.
Yeah. And then the other one was
Yeah.
last year's Arnold Sports Festival in Brazil. All of a sudden, you weren't there, and then you WhatsApped me and said, "Hey, I'm getting on a plane. I'll see you soon."
Yeah, that's
You were
right.
there,
Because I was supposed to go to France. They had
right?
like a IFBB Pro League event in France.
Right,
And I was like, okay, they invite me, but they cancel last minute,
right,
and the Arnold was in the same week. And then I was like, I text Tamer, and I was like, do you think it's important for me to be there for, for the athletes, for the bikini girls? It's like, of course, they would love to have you here.
yeah,
So I'm like, okay, so I'm going. I bought my ticket and I flew to Brazil straight to the Arnold, and
yeah,
it was awesome. It was awesome. It was,
yeah,
I feel the same love everywhere I go here, because I feel that, like even more, of course, the bikini division, all the girls that are starting, I feel the love, everywhere I go. But when I got to Brazil, it was just crazy, because I actually never did a pro show in Brazil. I never competed in Brazil. And the way that they look up to me, I think because like, oh, wow, she, she's from here. She came, she's from Brazil. She's from a small town in Brazil, and look where she is now.
right.
So, of course, we have so many great examples of success in Brazil, even more now. I think it's growing, growing, growing. But I think at that time was kind of like the first really, like example that they saw, like someone winning the Olympia, and getting
Yeah.
through all the struggles and getting there. So I felt that when I got there.
All right. So I always ask this question of competitors from Brazil: what is it about Brazil, well, especially Brazil in the bikini division? I mean, you have dominated, starting with Natalia Mello, with you, now with Isa, but then looking at all the other contests. We had at this year's Arnold, as you know, 4 of the top 6 were Brazilian. Now, of course, the wellness division, what is it about Brazil that they are just taking over?
Yeah, I know. I think we Brazilians, we do have good genetics, like we can't lie, we have good genetics, and we like working out and working, to have a nice body is in our mind since we are very young. So we start training very young. We start like building the body very young. Way before I started bodybuilding, like competing, I was already bodybuilding, but I didn't know I was bodybuilding,
Right.
like for years and years in Brazil. So once I started competing, I was already, like halfway there. And so, like seeing all the nice bodies at the beach in Brazil, because it's a tropical weather. But also, I think we Brazilians, because we are not like a first world, we know that we have to fight harder for things. And I think we grow up with this mentality that everything that you do, you gotta do well, you gotta fight for it, you can't give up. I think Brazilian has this mentality, like of not giving up, of not stopping until you get where you want. So I think that's the thing that make us really go for it. Because if you see, it wasn't like a easy journey for me. Oh, you're Brazilian, you start competing, you did well, you got your pro card, and you won the Olympia. No, it took a while. It was like me not giving up and knowing exactly what I wanted and fighting for it. So I think all the Brazilians that you say the name have the same thing, like, the strong mentality of knowing what you want and going for it.
Yeah, and I mean there's also quite a few in the men's physique division, which I kind of, it's funny that every one of them says the same thing. The only thing that Brazil does not have for them are good back machines in the gyms.
I know. I heard that from Sandy. I was at a master
Well,
contest
that one,
translating
I don't
for
know. I
her.
can't figure that one out.
Translating for her. And she was like, tell them, like all the men's physique guys that came and some bodybuilders also,
Yeah,
like, tell them he needs to work in his back. Brazil, Brazil must not have good back machines.
yeah.
So everything from the front, perfect.
Well, they got from
Sandy,
the front, they got all the
yeah,
booty for the bikini and the wellness competitors.
yeah. We, like for us, we work like, if we don't have machines, we have
Yeah,
1,000 exercises that we can use ankle weights. That's how, I start
right,
building my glutes. So we make it work, but for back, it's just like something that
yeah,
was like, and I noticed and I was like, oh my God, maybe it's true. And maybe it is because I saw like Rafael Brandão. He was in Brazil and something that he was lacking was his back. And he stayed in US with Flex Lewis
right,
for a while. And when I saw the comparison of his back, I was like, oh my God,
right.
such great improvements. And I was like, yeah, maybe it's right. He stayed here, he built so, like
Right.
in a, not short, it was a good amount of time, but he really built his back. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Sandy must be right.
Well, there's like there might be a little pressure in his family considering that his wife Karen's already a pro and he's not. I mean, and she's doing well, and
Yeah,
you know they're going to be both competing soon. I'm sure
yeah.
competitive. I know you're competitive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course I am.
you know, so. Well, anyways, I want to wrap this up, but I want to say, is there anything else or anybody that you want to give a shout out to or say anything about?
Oh, first, I want to thank you for having me. I was missing you. To be honest, I can't wait to see you and all the NPC IFBB Pro League family in an event soon. So, and I want to thank the IFBB Pro League, the NPC for all my journey, that got me where I am today. And it's not over yet. And also my coach, of course, Coach Kimoro, for being this journey with me for, like for most of my career and for being a friend. My sponsors, Get Supplements, Trifecta Nutrition, Professor Nuts, Sheiks, all my sponsors for my suit, Buff Bikinis, all the glitter gems, and all the people that really support me, all my fans that send me so much love and to tell me like, hey, we believe in you. We believe in you. This, gives me strength to keep pushing and to keep chasing my dreams. And, like to really work to be even better than I was last time. So yeah, thank you everyone for all the love, for all the support, and all the NPC and IFBB Pro League family. We are family and we're coming back stronger.
Yes. All right. Well, that's a great way to wind it up. Well, thank you, Angelica. This is J.M. Manion for the IFBB Pro League interview series, and we'll be signing off.
Bye. Thank you.